Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here, guys. I have such a good show for you today. We are talking an article that just came out that was sent to me by a friend of the channel, John Witherspoon. Thank you, John, if you're watching, for sending the article. Sent to me, and it's so interesting. I want to talk about it. I want to go over, hit some highlights, some lowlights from it. Uh, I actually think it's a sign that Harry and Meghan are so desperate they may have put this article out themselves. You know how always say when it says friend of or source, I always think that that is Meghan. I actually wonder if Meghan is putting this stuff out. I want to talk about it. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos, and I sincerely appreciate it. So without further ado, by the way, today I'm the Jench who loves Christmas. I'm not stealing Christmas. I love Christmas. All right. Let's talk about this today. It's from RadarOnline. Again, thank you, John Witherspoon, for sending this to me. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle weighing up most shocking TV tell-all yet. Dun, dun, dun. With her biggest critic. I'm not doing a TV interview with them. They should. They should do a TV interview with me. They never would. All right, let's talk about this. So what this is speculating, we don't have to read all of it. I'm going to hit some highlights and some lowlights on this, some low points on this. What they're speculating is that Harry and Meghan are said to be seriously contemplating an unlikely sit down with Piers Morgan. So, of course, they go into the history there and how Piers left because of Meghan and all the stuff that we know. It sounds absurd on the face of it, but people around Meghan and Harry insist they never rule anything out completely, except for making up with their families. They do seem to rule that out completely. The source added, there's a sense that if they ever want to reset the narrative, doing something unexpected could be part of that calculation. Again, that just reads as desperate. Desperado. I won't sing. You get the idea. They know everything they said in it would make global headlines. Something Meghan is still very interested in. Well, I bet she is. Of course, she'd do anything to make global headlines. Of course. Uh, she's just not in on the joke. So the headlines are usually like, what is happening here? Asked if he would make up with Markle, Morgan said, I'd rather interview Meghan Markle. If she and Harry would like to sit down for a 2-hour-long interview on Uncensored anytime they like. All right, let's talk about this and see what we think. Because at first, I know, I hear you. I was dismissive of it too, saying there's no way. And I'm still dismissive. But anytime I hear a friend of source, I always assume it's Meghan, because I really do think she puts this stuff out there just to see what's like going to get people talking or clicking. I don't know. This one's just interesting to me. So, again, this rumor originated through RadarOnline, and think about it. So Piers Morgan would be the ultimate foe turned interviewer in this case. He spent years calling them out. Ditto, come talk to me. I talked to Meghan's brother. I'd love to talk to Meghan. She would never talk to me. Never. Why I'm calling total BS on this ever happening, though. And again, thank you, John, for sending the article. This is not aimed at him. I get why he sent it. I still think it's an interesting conversation. And I still don't doubt that Meghan's putting this crap out here. But why I don't think it would actually ever happen is because there's no chance that they would ever. I just don't think that they would ever go toe to toe with anybody, especially not your Piers Morgan, your Meghan Kellys, me, regardless of how you feel about any of us, Taz, whoever. They just wouldn't accept a sit down without some sort of ironclad agreement. They'd have to have control, I think. I just don't think that they would go on any interview where questions were thrown at them and were not fully pre-approved. They only do those softball interviews. That's why they just look so piss poor in those, is because they're all pre-planned. They're all memorized, like, ha ha, tee hee hee, softball. Like, it's just pathetic, honestly. And I don't think, again, they could keep up or go toe to toe or have, they wouldn't be able to think quickly enough about what they want to have out there versus what truly has happened, and they wouldn't be able to keep up with whomever interviewed them and threw these questions at them. They'd end up looking worse. I think it'd be worse than that, or as bad as that train wreck Andrew interview where he went on and just answered thinking he'd come off looking great. And we know how that went. I think this would be that, maybe even worse. I don't know. Um, but they would never accept an interview where you get to ask whatever you want. They just, I don't know how you would, it seems incompatible, the two styles, because their control is their non-negotiable. Every interview they've given has had strict parameters, in my opinion. It seems to me, and anybody with a brain, that like Oprah got a list, Netflix, it seems very scripted, very, of course, she's going to probably have final say on any of that stuff. Think about that CBS chat with Jane Pauley. It was just so bleh. This one we watched recently with the girl I don't even care to remember, where Meghan went on in the yellow dress and was like eating a cheeseburger, pretending to. And it was just so saccharine and BS. And it's all just pre-planned and no real questions, in my opinion. No heavy hitters, no nothing. They never have to answer for anything. And if they're asked any kind of question, it's just this pre-planned BS nonsense. I think it would be fantastic. I really do. Would it help them? No, I don't think it would. Um, I'm not just trying to be negative because I don't like them. I'm just saying, like, I'm really trying to think this out. I just don't think they'd be able to keep up mentally. I don't. I don't think, because I think she's so tightly, both of them are so tightly controlling their own narrative. They wouldn't be able to let go of that control, and any interviewer worth their salt is going to ask the hard questions that Oprah pretended to ask, and they pretended to answer, but there was no actual follow-ups or real questions of depth and no actual answers given that made any sense. And somebody like Piers Morgan, somebody like everybody, like I say, the Meghan Kellys, me, Taz, whoever, we all called them out for not answering truthfully. The only ones that are going along with it are Harry and Meghan and the squad. So I just don't know. I don't think anything would change. They can want all the big headlines that they want, but until they start coming forth with any kind of truth or humility, or I don't know, big picture thinking, which I just don't know if they're capable. I just don't see how anything would be any different. But let's play the hypothetical game. You can let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think that there's a snowball's chance that they would ever do something like this? Do you think, how desperate would they have to get to do something like this? How would it go for them? You can let me know, and I suspect there'll be hilarious answers. How would it go for them if they did this? What do you think? Would you watch that 2-hour sit down with Piers Morgan? I would. I don't love watching them, but I absolutely would in that case. Um, I don't know. I'm thinking about the financial desperation angle. Would that hold up? I don't know. Maybe it's a money grab because everything's drying up, but I just think if I don't know their financial situation. I always say that. I'm not in their bank accounts. I have no idea. I feel like they have more than they let on, but I don't think it's as much as they want us to think it is. And I got to figure they're hemorrhaging money. So if they got desperate enough, I see it more as she would go on like QVC or something like that before she do. Because again, she can BS fake smile her way through that. I don't think you can do that in a hard hitting actual questions interview that we're talking about here. The other question I have is, if it's not Meghan and Harry spreading this around, maybe it's Piers himself spreading it around. Who knows? Um, I heard that he's been retweeting this story and joking he's ready when they are. I mean, good for him if he's the one doing it. I hope it gains traction and they take him up on it. I'm here for it. But anyway, bottom line is, I think it's wish fulfillment on the parts of all of us who actually want them to come with some answers, but I don't think that they ever will. I really don't. I don't think, as I say, I don't think they're capable of going toe to toe or thinking quickly on their feet or being held accountable for anything. I just really don't. So that's going to do it for me. I'm dying to know your comments. You have to let me know. You know, I'm thinking about I don't know. Just let me know. Do you think that this is Meghan and Harry putting this out? Do you think this is Piers himself putting it out? Do you think it's anti Sussex people putting it out? Do you think they're that hard up for money? Do you think Meghan is a source? You can let me know all of this in the comments because I am curious to get your take on all of it. Yeah, it would be I mean, I think it'd be the most memed interview in history if it is the case. I think it'd be the most sound bites ever pulled from an interview. It might even top the South Park of it all if they did do it, but I just don't see that as a thing. But you can let me know if you disagree with me. So that's going to do it for me. Definitely let me know your comments on this one. What are your thoughts? Again, a huge thank you to John Witherspoon for your sending me this article. I really appreciate that. Yeah, let me know. All right. I hope you guys had the best day. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'm not going to do you a favor and ask you, make sure you're subscribed. Again, hit that thumbs up, leave me comments, and do check out my second channel because I'm continuing to post over there. And it's all about my weight loss. I've got it right here. I've lost over 140 pounds. And I'm showing my befores, my afters, what I did, what I ate. I'm doing features like how to go out to eat and lose weight. I have not recorded on this yet. I just started a new, very intense fitness program that I will report back on and let you know. Hint, hint. It is hard for me to go from sitting to standing right now. That's how sore my muscles are, but I love a challenge. So if you want to challenge yourself, whether it's eating right, exercising, losing weight, changing, setting goals, anything like that, you can join me at Goose Adventure. It's a very supportive flock over there. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi, how are you guys? What's going on? The reason I wonder if this is Harry and Meghan, although I can't quite figure out their angle, is because they are up to some weird stuff. How do I know? Because if you're any kind of creator, if you have social media presence, anything like that, you can start to see patterns of when her people, her squad, are out in full force. Usually when they've done something bonkers, like the Paris trip recently, all of a sudden her squad was out in full force. They seem to be dispatched and ready to come to her defense. But it's usually, in my opinion, it seems to be, I don't know. I don't understand. Like broken English, poorly written, and saying a lot of the same stuff almost as if it were, I want to say it's bots, but I don't know. I think it's very uneducated people, but anyway. But I noticed they're back out in full force and they're saying really funny things. I won't even give them the fuel, but it's really funny what they're fixated on now. I'm getting a lot of it and they're written so poorly. I think they think they're hurting my feelings, but I say bring it on because every comment helps and I'm actually cracking up about it. So I don't care. I'll just tell you, they're talking about my fang. Like that one right there. Joke's on you if you're watching. I'm telling you honestly, like there are things I'm insecure about. That is not one of them. I love that thing. I actually had a dentist or whomever say something about filing it down. I'm like, no way. I love my vampire fang. I would never get rid of it. It's like one of my favorite features. I'm glow in the dark pale and I love like vampire stuff and I love my fang. Why in the world would I get rid of it? I love it. So I think it's hilarious that they think they're hurting me with it. I'm like, great, point it out more. I don't think enough people have seen it. Look, see? I have a little bit one there, but it's mostly there, and I love it. Shall we name it? If you stay tuned this long, let me know in the comments. What do you want to name it? Again, they think they're hurting me. No, I say, there's my vampire noise. All you have to do is invite me in, right? Plus, vampires are supposed to be like alluring and charismatic, right? So they'll be invited in and they're supposed to have beautiful skin. I'm a vampire. Great. Let's do this. I love garlic. Is it that they love garlic or they hate garlic? I never remember that one. Anyway, I'm a vampire. Let's go. I'd love to go to Transylvania. Let's go. Oh my god, it is really funny though. Like I actually find it hilarious because they're like, "Do you know you have a fang?" Yes, I do. And thank you for pointing it out. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic actually. Are you asking to be bitten? Hmm? All right. Me and my vampire tooth that you guys are going to name are out. Let me know. Do you remember Monicon friends? The vein has spoken. Well, I'd rather have. Sorry, my ring just flew off. Again, when I lose weight, my fingers get smaller, my rings fly off my head. But the vein has spoken. That's off of Friends. But I'd rather have a fang than abandon my family, Markle followers, and Harry followers for that matter. Bleh. Anyway, God, I'm becoming Meghan. I'm sticking my tongue out. Oh, I had a red Powerade too, so if my tongue's red, that's why. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I might have lost my mind on this one. Hope you guys have the best day, and I'll talk to you again soon. The Fang has spoken. I love that they think they're hurting me with that. Bring it on. Let's go. I love the thing. I'm never changing the thing. I actually told the dentist that, and I've told people in my comments, they're like, you should get that fixed. I'm like, never. I love it. I love to leave bite marks. Challenge me. Let's go. Yeah, they never will. They can never answer why they defend Harry and Meghan. And Harry and Meghan will never take an interview where they didn't approve every question. Just saying. All right. Fang and I out. White Fang and I out. Wow. Okay, bye.